Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the making of Rasp. It was a pretty contained, simple, straightforward production, and it actually happened really quickly. I think I came up with the idea on a Thursday or Friday, and we were shooting it by Sunday. I once again served as my own cinematographer. I don't generally consider myself a cinematographer, but I've been shooting a lot of my own stuff lately so that I can really strengthen that skill set. My lighting setup on this was super simple. There's the practical lamp that's in the room that's providing the key light, and then there's the blue light that's coming in through the window, and that's supposed to represent moonlight or maybe a light on the side of the house perhaps. Either way, just to kind of give the essence of nighttime. It also gives it a look that's similar to many movies from the 70s and 80s. There's a bunch of movies from that time period that are really unafraid to use harsh blue light to kind of represent moonlight or shadow or whatever. Sound was really important on this project. It's always important on these projects, and unfortunately it's something that so frequently gets kind of forgotten about. It's always the thing that comes back to bite you in post-production when you realize that you didn't pay enough attention to getting great sound on set. I think we got pretty good sound, but it was definitely still a struggle in post-production, largely because I was having a really difficult time figuring out what the monster should sound like. I tried a bunch of different things. I was screeching and screaming into a microphone. I'm sure my neighbors loved it. Are you still attracted to me?
Yeah.
Good. I just couldn't quite find the right noise. Eventually I decided that the best solution was just doing kind of a scary, aggressive voice and then giving that sort of the classic demon treatment, which is essentially taking your vocal track and doubling it up or tripling it up, whatever, and then you pitch shift one of the tracks or both of the tracks so they're synced up, but they have different pitches from one another. So when it plays, you get kind of this like dual voice demon effect. The special effects on this one were pretty simple for the most part. There's two shots where I do a little bit of CGI work. One of the shots, as some of you may have noticed, has a shadow standing in the background, and that's a digital shadow. It's essentially just a black cutout of a human-ish shape, and I just animated that around ever so slightly so it has a little bit of movement. Then lowered the opacity and blurred it so that it blends in with the other shadows and looks like it's part of the space. The other shot that has a little bit of CGI in it is the shot of the hand actually coming through the peephole, and that is just a cutout of the hand, and then I'm animating it frame by frame. For the shot of the hand actually grabbing Jamie, my actor's face, that's my hand wrapped up in bandages. You may recognize the hand from the Moonlight Man. Those are his fingers. The trick to that was grabbing his face as quickly as I could without actually hitting him full force in the face. And it was kind of tough to get it to look convincing. And we tried a bunch of different things. We actually tried reversing footage, so we'd do the action in reverse where I'd start with my hand on his face and his head would be turned to the side, and then we'd flip back and I'd pull my hand away, and then we'd reverse the footage in post. And it looked kind of cool. It looked sort of eerie and strange, but didn't quite have the effect that I wanted for it. I really wanted something that was a little bit more violent. Ultimately, you know, the best movement that we got was doing it where I just go as fast as I can and then grab his face without hurting him. And then when it comes to the neck break movement, he's actually the one in control of that. So I grab his face lightly, and then he actually throws his head to the side, and my hand just follows him. So that way I'm not accidentally wrenching his neck and potentially hurting him. Also in the neck break movement, I cut out a few frames so that it speeds up the motion a little bit and makes it look that much more violent and quick. And it's something that I've used several times over the years for various different things, for stunt punches that need a little bit more momentum behind them. The occasional gunshot wound, somebody getting hit by a bullet and you really want the jolt when they get hit. It's something that's easy to abuse, so use it sparingly, but it can be really effective for some of those moments where you just need a little bit more energy. Usually it's like 2 or 3 frames if you can find like the right moment, right, you know, if it's somebody getting punched, maybe right at the moment where it first looks like they're making contact, you cut out a couple of frames so that the head, you know, goes from here to here, and you know, if you cut out the right amount of frames in the right spot, you can really make that look violent. There's actually a shot in the film where we use reverse footage, and it's the shot of the eyes coming into frame through the peephole. It was really difficult to move the creature head into frame and have it land on the exact mark so the eyes were right where they needed to be, lined up in that little peephole. It was much easier to start on our mark and then move quickly out of frame and then just reverse it. And it kind of gives it sort of this eerie, creepy movement as well when it's reversed, because the thing zips into frame and then just comes to a dead stop right there looking through the peephole at you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Okay. 105, take 1, marker.